ANC Secretary-General Fikile Mbalula is expected to lead the party's delegation to the home of former ANCW Deputy President Lungi Mnganga-Gcabashe to pay their respects. Mnganga-Gcabashe died this weekend. She was elected ANC Women's League President in 2023. We now cross to Simpiwe Makanya in Durban to catch up on that latest story.
Well, indeed, the leadership of the ANC here in KwaZulu-Natal has arrived at the home of, the ANC Women's League Deputy President, that's Lungi Mnganga-Gcabashe, who passed away this past weekend. You'd recall, of course, that she was elected in that particular position in the 2023 conference of the ANC Women's League. The party has hailed her, for her contribution not only in politics in South Africa, but also in her role as a member of parliament, as well as the chairperson of the portfolio committee on tourism. But let's try now and get a sense of the sentiment from the ANC here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Let's welcome Mr. Mike Mabuyakulu, who is the ANC convener here in KwaZulu-Natal, coordinator rather of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal. Thank you so much, Ndiama, for your time. Of course, a huge loss for the ANC, not only in the province but nationally, looking at the contribution that she has made. What is the word of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal?
Well, I must say that as the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, we are deeply devastated by the loss. It is a very huge loss. Comrade Lungi was one of those finest leaders of the movement, particularly that has led us during the various epochs of our struggle. At a time when things were difficult, he was one of those leaders of the ANC that stand out in providing leadership, particularly at a time when we had violence in this province, and as one of the senior leaders that actually represent us in eThekwini at one point, where she was actually deployed to work in the Human Settlement Department in eThekwini. So she is such a leader that actually has excelled in all of the leadership positions that she has been tasked with.
Mr. Mabuyakulu, thank you so much for your time. I do understand that the spokesperson of the ANC nationally is also joining us shortly. She's actually here. That's Mahlengi Mtsiri. I'm going to see now if I can try and get a word from the national spokesperson of the ANC. That's Mahlengi Mtsiri, just to get a word from the ANC nationally with regards to this unfortunate, of course, departure of the ANC Women's League Deputy President Lungi Mnganga-Gcabashe. Thank you so much, Ms. Mahlengi, for your time. A huge loss for the party. What is the word of the ANC with regards to this situation?
Absolutely gutted. Devastated is an understatement. Lungi Mnganga-Gcabashe is synonymous with the ANC and its rebirth inside the country. Is synonymous with the United Democratic Front, which paved the way for a successful fight against the banning of the African National Congress. Comrade Lungi is synonymous with peace-building efforts in the province of KwaZulu-Natal when there was a huge political violence, and she didn't insert herself into that process, but the residents who believed in her leadership in the community propelled her to be one of the people that play a prominent role in bringing peace in the province. Comrade Lungi, of course, is synonymous with the gender struggle and women's struggle for women's emancipation. Having been part of the then Natal Organization of Women, now, which of course those were forerunners to the modern day African National Congress Women's League. When the ANC Women's League was relaunched inside the country, the Natal Organization of Women in other provinces as well were holding fort. And so this is someone who has really risen through the ranks of the African National Congress. This is someone who rose all the way to being a public representative, at the time of her passing being a member of parliament, as well as a chair of the portfolio committee of tourism. So here we're talking about someone that really worked hard to be recognized for her commitment to service, her commitment to gender equality, her commitment to peace, one of our peacemakers of our time. And I must also indicate that, of course, she was deputy president of the ANC Women's League. And there was, in the history of the Women's League, the last conference where she was elected deputy president, we call and phrase it as a beachhead moment, simply because it marked the revival of the ANC Women's League in terms of the public perception about the ANC Women's League. And so we were really gutted, but we have to pick up the spear and move forward, but also take courage from the life that she led. We're here to pay condolences to the family that gave her to the liberation struggle.
Mhlenge, thank you so much for your time. Before we let you go, just for confirmation, is the SG still coming?
Yes, the SG is coming.
Okay, thank you so much for that. This is Mhlenge Mtsiri, who is the national spokesperson of the ANC there, saying a few words with regards to the departure of Lungi Mnganga-Gcabashe, who was the ANC Women's League deputy president. It's over to you in studio for now.
Thanks very much. And that was our SABC reporter, Simpiwe Makanya, coming to us live from KZN. And the ANC Secretary General is expected to visit the family of the late former ANC Women's League Deputy President Lungi Mnganga-Gcabashe a bit later on.